to an old anti-Semitic book by a certain John Atkinson Hobson. The book was written in 1902, and it was republished in 2011. Corbyn wrote the intro. And Hobson asks in this book, does anyone seriously suppose that a great war could be undertaken by any European state, or a great state alone described if the House of Rothschild and its connections set their face against it? Okay, conspiracy theories, and then he goes on to say, united by the strongest bonds of organisation, always in the closest and quickest touch with one another, situated in the very heart of the business capital of every state, controlled so far as Europe is concerned by men of a single and peculiar race, who have behind them many centuries of financial experience. They are in a unique position to control the policy of nations. Hobson goes on to say there's not a war, a revolution, an anarchist assassination, or any other public shock which is not gainful to these men. They are harpies who suck their gains from every new forced expenditure and every sudden disturbance of public credit. The direct influence exercised by financial houses in high politics is supported by the control which they exercise over the body of public opinion through the press. And Corbyn wrote an intro saying that this book is brilliant, and Hobson wrote another book called The War in South Africa, Its Causes and Effects, and he says that a small group of international financiers, chiefly German in origin and Jewish in race, on the cause of the World War. The rich and powerful liquor trade is in the hands of the Jews. The stock exchange is needless to say mostly Jewish. The press of Johannesburg is their property. And Corbyn not only wrote an intro to the book, but he was the guest speaker at the republication of Mr. Hobson's book. Okay, so West Streeting Labour MP for Ilford North tweeted that my advice to any Labour MP today: refuse to defend Jeremy Corbyn, lauding a book containing classical anti-Semitic tropes. If he wants to defend the indefensible, he should go on the airways and defend himself. He has a responsibility to explain himself. He was responding to the fact that Rebecca Long Bailey has responded to a question about whether Corbyn is an anti-Semitic radio, and Mrs. Rebecca was laughing. A Labour Party spokesman told the Times that Jeremy praised the liberal Hobson's century-old classic study of imperialism. Similar to other books of its era, Hobson has outdated offensive references, and Jeremy Corbyn rejects the anti-Semitic elements of his analysis. This latest revelation is yet proof that Mr. Corbyn is an anti-Semite. Under his leadership, the once fiery anti-racist Labour Party has become an existential threat to British Jews. Over 50,000 people have now signed our petition denouncing Mr. Corbyn as an anti-Semite and declaring him unfit to hold any public office. The Equality and Human Rights Commission has begun pre-enforced proceedings against the Labour Party following a form of referral and detained legal representations from campaigns against anti-Semitism, which is complainant. The pre-enforced proceedings are a precursor to opening a full statutory investigation. In recent months, 11 MPs have resigned from the Labour Party over the anti-Semitic remarks of Corbyn, along with numerous councillors and members. And Corbyn said that Hamas and Hezbollah are his friends. Terrorist groups like Hezbollah and Hamas are his friends. So here we are, Corbyn being at the republication, at the events, and writing the intro to this anti-Semitic book by certain Hobson, written in 1902 and was republished in 2011. Right, so that's Jeremy Corbyn, who loves Hezbollah and Hamas.
Ursäkta, måste bara säga det, du är så jävla snygg. Kan jag få en puss?